What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Avengers Endgame left us with a ton of questions, one of which is who's still left on the Avengers team? A couple people left, a couple people got shuffled, a couple people got traded for Infinity Stones. Wait a minute. Okay, just one. But still, who's left on the team and who are we likely to see and in what role and capacity going into Phase 4 if there ever is an Avengers 5? Today we're going to break down who's left on the team, all 11 members, and what role they may play. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel-related stuff, including tickets to go see Avengers Endgame in IMAX while it's still in theaters. All you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around to the end of the video. I'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now, I think the most obvious place to start is with the Falcon character and his role now as Captain America. Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan will be teaming up for that Disney streaming service, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and it's yet to be seen whether they're going to have him playing the Captain America mantle in that show, and that's going to explore his growing pains in that role. But I think it's safe to say no matter what happens in the TV show, at some point we're going to see Captain America Falcon on the big screen. They may explore it in the TV show, but Kevin Feige has confirmed that those TV shows on the Disney streaming service will intersect directly with the movies, and I doubt they're going to miss the opportunity to give Anthony Mackie his due, as he has paid them all, and I can't wait to see that. Now, speaking of veterans and paying dues, let's move over to Rhodey. He's been in it since Iron Man 1. Well, the character's been in it since Iron Man 1. He's really been in it since Iron Man 2. But when it comes to the MCU, and specifically the events of the Infinity Saga, Rhodes was there for it all. And now moving on into the Avengers team as we go into Phase 4, really, he's going to be like that veteran player that you get at a decent price late into the season to make a playoff run. He doesn't really have the skills that he used to, but he can still hit a clutch 3, and his veteran leadership and experience will really play an ultimate role in helping the newest members achieve their status as Avengers, especially if he hangs over to the young Avengers. And we already saw a little bit of this in that scene on Morag between him and Nebula when he says, hey, you work with what you got. He's definitely playing the coach role at this point. Now, when it comes to Hulk, nobody knows. The Universal rights are still up in the air, as they won't let Marvel make any solo movies. Side note, Universal, what are you doing? Do you like money? I've seen your movies recently. They're not that great. Just give the rights to Marvel on a very small licensing deal and collect your quarterly check. I don't understand why it's so hard. I don't understand how companies that big don't understand how to make money. But guys, get it together over there. Just give the rights back to Marvel. They can't make any solo films, but can they use Hulk in future films? Absolutely, in other people's films. And I don't think that's the last we've seen for Hulk. Now, maybe this is just wishful thinking because we were all so disappointed with Endgame. We all thought he'd get some sort of rematch against Thanos in the end. Instead, they let his Infinity Gauntlet unsnapping be his moment, and he pulled an absolute no-show during the final fight, which, for me as a fan and a lot of you guys, did not sit right. I'm hoping as we go forward into the Marvel Cosmic Universe, they're going to give the Hulk a chance to shine, and we'll get to see one of those higher power levels like Worldbreaker and or Heart of the Monster, but it's yet to be seen how that would go down, and hopefully he'll still be on the Avengers squad when they do a team movie so that we can get that ultimate payoff. Now, moving over to the Ant-Man and the Wasp, it's unseen whether they're going to have a third movie in their trilogy, although I would assume, given the star power of Paul Rudd, that this is going to be the case, in which case they'll probably co-movie in their own, but they're still around for the Avengers, and even though they weren't around for the original Avengers movie, they wanted them in there. There's no reason why they won't hang over to the team going forward into the next phase. Now, moving over to Captain Marvel, Kevin Feige and a lot of people over at Marvel Studios said that Captain Marvel would be the next phase as Captain America, but after her less than thrilling debut with the fans, don't get me wrong, a lot of people liked it, but she's kind of put some people off with her attitude, and I'm not sure she's going to be the figure, the prominent figure rather, that they thought she would be going into the next phase to lead the team. Now, what I've said about her is what I would say about Hulk and some other characters in the past. It's taken more than one movie for them to catch their stride with the character. We've seen Thor especially do this with his movies. Dark World is one of the least favorite movies on the entire MCU docket for a lot of people, and Thor Ragnarok is right up there with the best. So it's my hope that the MCU and Brie Larson can find their stride with this character and bring her into the Avengers fold with the same sort of authenticity that we've come to know and love from our Avengers. And speaking of that same authenticity, Black Panther is set to have his second movie come in the next 24 to 36 months. Of course, we're waiting on San Diego Comic-Con patiently for Kevin Feige to give us some insight as to what the release schedule and docket looks like, so we'll know for sure in what order and what year we're getting this movie. But Black Panther 2 is not only to set up new characters in the MCU, possibly Namor, Storm, other X-Men, and or mutants, but is going to explore his role as a king and how that translates into the Avengers. Is he's a full-on leader now, whereas he was a newcomer in Civil War in a divided Avengers and really hasn't been a part of the team while they've been together, more of like an ancillary helper, Wakanda lending their aid to Captain America during Infinity War, even though he was technically on Iron Man's side during Civil War. Either way, he knows all about the Avengers and what's happened with them and their team now, and as he is a leader in his own country, will possibly transition into that role as far as the team. Now, moving on to Doctor Strange, he's in the same boat as Black Panther. We know that he's getting a sequel, and we know it's coming soon. We also know it'll be integral in the MCU to setting up future events and perhaps not only the phase but the saga. But considering we don't have any release dates, we don't know which one's coming first. Doctor Strange was never really on a team other than his own with the Sorcerers protecting the Time Stone, and it'll probably stay that way. However, if any threat is big enough to trigger the Avengers, especially on the cosmic scale, considering he's one of the most, if not the most powerful character left, then he will definitely be involved fighting alongside of them. So, while never officially an Avenger, will always be an honorary member when the situation calls for it. Speaking of which, Spider-Man couldn't wait to become an Avenger, and then when finally faced with the opportunity, decided to turn it down. It wasn't only until he found himself aboard a spacecraft headed into deep space that he was knighted an Avenger. Given what we already know about Spider-Man Far From Home and how it seems like Nick Fury is recruiting him to work for S.H.I.E.L.D., it's unforeseen whether he'll still want to stay part of the team dynamic. And like I said at the beginning of this video, we don't know if there'll ever be another Avengers movie, if it'll be Avengers 5 with the grown-up lineup, or the next time that we see the Avengers, maybe the Young Avengers, and they're going to break these characters down into other teams and or TV shows. But if the ground level threat is such that the Avengers are called in, Spider-Man is always going to play a role. He's already had his stint in space, and I doubt that they're going to take him there again. But never say never with the MCU, as we've definitely opened up a cosmic can of worms, so to speak, with this altered timeline given the Infinity Stones, and the cat's way out of the bag as far as knowing our place in the universe. So it's yet to be seen what will happen with Spider-Man, but hopefully the Sony rights will get worked out beyond this current 6-movie contract, and hopefully Tom Holland's Spider-Man can stay in the MCU. I'm going to be very disappointed if he somehow ends up in this awful Venom Morbius Sony-verse that they've got going on right now. Either way, as long as he's on Earth, he's going to be a member of the Avengers. All of these guys fought together during the battle for Earth. I'd like to call the second battle of New York, whatever you want to call it, in Avengers Endgame. They're going to be familiar with each other, but which leads us to the last member of the Avengers team no one's really going to be familiar with, because he's going to be all new, and that's why we're going to double back to Wanda, Scarlet Witch at the same time. We all know we're getting a WandaVision TV show with a super unfortunate name, and now that we know that Shuri's back, and they made sure to put those scenes in Avengers Infinity War to let you know that she finished whatever procedure, whatever trail she was on, we're definitely getting Spectral Vision. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I think a couple things are for certain. There wasn't enough time during the quote-unquote Secret Avengers phase, that's between the end of Civil War and the beginning of Infinity War, for them to fit an entire season prequel just based on basically their fledgling romance. I don't see Marvel doing that. That's not the type of TV show that I think they're going to bring to the Disney streaming service. Again, watch me have to hold my tongue as this turns into like a full-on rom-com. However, they're probably going to explore bringing Vision back during the TV show. It's going to be awesome to see these characters in this sort of role, but we all know that Vision was made up of many layers, as Mark Ruffalo put it. Dr. Banner made sure to say that he could consist maybe even the best parts of him. And so I think what we're going to see in this TV show coming up most likely is how they bring Vision back from his state. I know the Russos have said Vision is gone, but they also made sure in the end of Infinity War to turn him into Spectral Vision, and I don't think that's just by coincidence. I also don't think they're going to set up all these TV shows and movies that contain all of the characters from Phase 3 as all prequels. We already know that the Black Widow show is probably going to be a prequel, and there's a good chance that one or two others may, including the Loki show and perhaps the Hawkeye television show we've heard nothing about. Some of these are going to have to happen after the fact. They're not going to put out an entirely lame duck prequel series regarding these characters, we just love them too much and want to know what's happening in the future. I think it's safe to say that we're going to get to see Vision come back in this spectral form. And then, as I said earlier in this video, Kevin Feige made sure to mention that these are going to directly intersect. So rather than just being an adjacent universe like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, where very rarely anybody shows up. Quick side note, yes, I know that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., or rather Peggy Carter actor, was in Endgame, but those never usually cross over. These are going to. So I think it's going to be awesome while they take these TV shows to explore some of the interim stuff that's happening while they develop some of the other movies to then cross these characters back over. Man, what a time to be alive. Guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this new lineup, what role you want to see some of these players play, what role you think they'll be playing. Are you excited for these TV shows, especially Falcon's Captain America? I can't wait to see that. I am rather thrilled for Anthony Mackie. I know he's a little bit of an ornery dude, but he definitely paid his dues, and I'm glad that he got that. And quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, one here at the channel at the 400,000 subscriber mark. We're also giving away the other PlayStation over on my Spotify account. If you don't have an account, it's free to make one. If you do, either way, head over to my account in the link in the descriptions, All Fires, stream my song and follow that account. Screenshot that and send it to everythingalwaysYT@gmail.com. You guys are always asking how to get a better chance to win a PlayStation, and very few people are going to do this compared to my subscriber count. So go ahead and make sure to do that if you're interested, and or if you're curious and just want to support me, or maybe like indie rock, you might actually like the song. Who knows? Again, that's down in the description and the comments below. If you want to win either the PlayStations or the tickets to go see Avengers Endgame while it's still in theaters in IMAX, all you got to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, because the more videos that you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Thanks for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.